Introduction. The Renaissance period is a significant era in the history of Italy, especially in terms of art and culture. The term Renaissance means rebirth, which perfectly describes the renewed interest in the classical art and culture of ancient Greece and Rome during this period. The Renaissance was a time of great artistic and cultural achievements, and Italy was at the forefront of these developments. The Renaissance period was marked by a renewed interest in classical art and culture. Artists during this period began to focus on realism and perspective in their works, which led to a more naturalistic representation of the world. One of the most famous artists of the Renaissance was Leonardo da Vinci. His works, such as the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper, are still revered today for their technical mastery and beauty. Michelangelo was another prominent artist during the Renaissance. He was known for his mastery of sculpture and painting, and his works, such as the Sistine Chapel ceiling, are considered to be some of the greatest masterpieces in art history. Michelangelo's sculptures, such as David and the Pietà, were also groundbreaking in their realism and attention to detail. Raphael was another Renaissance artist who made significant contributions to the field of art. His works, such as the School of Athens, are considered to be some of the finest examples of Renaissance art. Raphael's use of perspective and naturalism, combined with his attention to detail, make his work some of the most beautiful in art history. In addition to painting, sculpture, and other traditional forms of art, the Renaissance also saw significant developments in architecture. The period was marked by a renewed interest in classical architecture, which led to the construction of some of the most beautiful buildings in history. One of the most famous examples of Renaissance architecture is the dome of the Florence Cathedral, which was designed by Filippo Brunelleschi. In addition to the birth of opera and literary achievements, the Renaissance also saw significant developments in other areas of culture. The visual arts, for example, experienced a surge of creativity during this period. Artists began to experiment with new techniques and styles, resulting in some of the most beautiful and influential works of art in history. The Renaissance also saw significant developments in architecture. The period was marked by a renewed interest in the architecture of ancient Greece and Rome, which inspired many of the buildings constructed during this time. One of the most famous examples of Renaissance architecture is the St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, which was designed by some of the greatest architects of the time. Music was also an important aspect of Renaissance culture. In addition to opera, many other musical forms emerged during this period, including madrigals and motets. These musical forms were often complex and highly structured, with a focus on intricate harmonies and counterpoint. The Renaissance also saw significant developments in science and philosophy. The period was marked by a renewed interest in the natural world, and many scientists and philosophers made groundbreaking discoveries during this time. One of the most famous examples is Galileo Galilei, who made significant contributions to the field of astronomy. The Renaissance period was not only a time of great artistic and cultural achievements but also a period where significant culinary innovations took place. Food played a vital role in Italy's culture, and it was during this period that many new culinary traditions emerged. One of the most famous dishes that originated during the Renaissance is pasta. Pasta has become a staple of Italian cuisine and is enjoyed all over the world. The exact origins of pasta are still unclear, but the first recorded mention of it can be traced back to the Renaissance. In 1154, an Arab geographer named al-Idrisi wrote about a food similar to pasta that he had seen in Sicily. The word pasta itself comes from the Italian word for paste, referring to the dough used to make it. Another dish that has become synonymous with Italian cuisine is pizza. The modern pizza that we know today was not invented until the late 19th century, but its origins can be traced back to the Renaissance. Flatbreads topped with various ingredients have been eaten in Italy for centuries, but it was during the Renaissance that the first recorded mention of a pizza-like dish appeared. In 1570, a cookbook called Opera dell'arte del cucinare featured a recipe for a dish called pizza. This early version of pizza was topped with cheese and herbs, and it quickly became a popular street food in Naples. Italian cuisine is also known for its cheeses, and many of the cheeses that we associate with Italy today were first produced during the Renaissance. Parmesan cheese, for example, was first produced in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy in the 13th century. However, it was during the Renaissance that Parmesan cheese became widely popular across Italy. The Renaissance period also saw the introduction of new ingredients to Italian cuisine. One of the most significant culinary innovations was the use of tomatoes. Tomatoes were first brought to Italy from the Americas in the 16th century, and they quickly became a popular ingredient in Italian cooking. Today, tomatoes are a key ingredient in many Italian dishes, including pizza and pasta sauces. Apart from the dome of the Florence Cathedral, the Renaissance period saw a flourishing of architectural creativity and innovation across Italy. During this time, architects drew inspiration from the classical styles of ancient Greece and Rome. They incorporated these elements into their designs while also experimenting with new techniques and materials. One of the most influential architects of the Renaissance was Andrea Palladio, who was renowned for his work in Venice and the surrounding areas. Palladio was particularly interested in the symmetry and proportion of buildings, and he drew heavily on classical architecture in his designs. His works include the Villa Capra, also known as the Villa Rotonda, and the Basilica Palladiana, both of which are considered to be among the most beautiful buildings in Italy. Another notable architect of the Renaissance was Leon Battista Alberti, who is credited with the design of the Palazzo Rucellai in Florence. This building is a prime example of Renaissance architecture, with its symmetrical facade, use of classical elements such as columns and pediments, and attention to detail. In addition to these famous architects, many other lesser-known figures made significant contributions to the architecture of the Renaissance. For example, Giuliano da Sangallo designed the Church of Santa Maria del Carceri in Prato, which features a unique octagonal shape and a stunning coffered dome. Meanwhile, Baldassare Peruzzi was responsible for the design of the Palazzo Massimo alla Colonna in Rome, which is noted for its elegant Corinthian columns and ornate stucco decorations. In conclusion, the Renaissance period was a time of great artistic and cultural achievements, and Italy played a significant role in these developments. The art, culture, food, and architecture of Italy during this period continue to inspire and amaze people around the world today. From the stunning artworks of Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo to the delicious pasta dishes of Italian cuisine, the Renaissance has left an indelible mark on the world, and it will continue to do so for generations to come.